Hello and welcome in. Hello, hello. Hey, Ooga Booga. Welcome. I am the average goob, and today we're going to be working on Rise of the Intern. Does he know? Do I know what? What do I know, Goob Stare? All right, so today I'm going to continue working on the HUD selection whenever you select an enemy. And I actually did a little bit of fixing. I found out that the base ranged enemy had a different positioning for some reason, so I fixed that. And I made it a little bit translucent. I don't think it is for the boss, but it is for the base enemy. Um, Technically the boss doesn't need all of this. So I may have to make a thing that's like, oh, if they're the boss, don't show it. But yeah, so I had to add some of this stuff in there. Egypt. All right, Ooga Booga. I think we've Egypt the meme. We did it as a singular meme now. Um all right. Let's add a sprite. Somehow this needs to go above or behind the player. Definitely gotta scale this. There it is. There's the eye. Can I scale all of this stuff? Sure can. All right. We need the reference for that. And then we have our selected. We have our update HUD. That's good. We got our show hacks. This is no point in doing this. We need if input no is action press. Is this how you get mouse clicks? No, for here it is. If event is input mouse button, bring this over here. Event is input event mouse button. Mouse motion. That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Button index. That's not a thing. Unhandled input. Oh. Hang on. We need the selected and var can select. Okay, and we have I think we can probably just use their hitbox. We can do an area entered. Oh, hey, Okabe fan. Welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate. Ooh, sour. Oh, I love the little flower on your name. That's so cool. I just hydrated myself, so I thought you should too. Well, thank you. I mean, it has been 10 minutes since I started, and I definitely haven't had anything to drink since then, so let me go back. I forgot to change back. No, I like it. It was new. Fancy. No, not the windmill. Nice. Actually, I like that one too. Wait a second. That one's Amsterdam and that one's Rotterdam? Rotterdam? R Rotterdam? I've never heard of that. I love that bridge. It looks so cool. Wow, that place looks like a storybook. Wow, that's cool. It's also in the Netherlands. So cool. Oh, all right. This is how I gotta figure it out. I just did the cubic houses. That's what I'm saying. It looks like it's straight out of a storybook. It's so cute. Okay, mouse button dot button index. It has button index. It's pretty much your backyard. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, it just snowed here today, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna have power, but we're good. I had to work the whole day. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was very pretty today. Um you can't I don't know if you can really see it. I can try to show it on screen. Um but there was a cardinal out there. Oh, you can see it. Look at that. There was a cardinal out there today, just hanging out in the snow. It was so pretty. It's kind of a blurry picture. I do have other ones of it, but they're kind of zoomed out. I never had power issues with the weather. The fear for it sounds like a foreign topic. Yeah. Well, my state's not really equipped for it. I'm in the South, and so it's like in the southern United States, and so like snow's not really a thing. I mean, I'm from the mountains where 7 months of the year was snow, and like we went to school back when like the snow would hit 4 or 5 feet overnight. So I mean, like here, there's like one snow truck for the whole state, right? And so if there's like a hint of snow, they just shut everything down around here. US is made with a lot of wood. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of wood and particle board nowadays. We need to start 3D printing with the cement. It was a cute burb. It was so cute. He was out there just and then from my office window, there was another one. I wonder if it was the same one. I don't know, probably not. But it was just like it was following me today. Oh, you know what? I should probably add this. Yeah. Just so I can add this to like joystick events and stuff. Yeah, everything's concrete and bricks there. That makes sense. Not here. And it's not just that, like like things freeze. I don't um what is the button for inputs? Action pressed? I'm cold 24/7. Don't need freezing temperatures. I'm the opposite. I'm like always hot. So I welcome the cold, but the state doesn't like it. Oh, here we go. I knew it was under the event. Is action pressed? Left click. And select. I think it's just selected. I don't like the south of the USA either. No, don't keep sending the snow here. No, this is where I live. I didn't choose it, but I live here now. Okay. We could use the cold. So, well, not long term. People don't know how to drive in the snow around here. They don't know how to drive in the cold. I don't know how to drive in the cold anymore. It's been like 20 years since I had to drive in snow. Um, how would I check this? Do I just put everything in here? Just do like if selected, then selected equals false, else selected equals true. Then we go the HUD. Then we need the selection sprite too. At least they'll build it once it happens often enough. You would think that, well, yeah, I guess if it just started like snowing regularly, we'd start having like better infrastructure, but we just got hit with hurricanes like in September and it took them, like, they're still clearing trees. Like, people around here, they do not have the get up and go and get things done attitude. Oh no, they're all just selected. You want to flip a bool, there's a quicker method. Equals is selected. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I could just do this. Yeah, I was thinking about doing this, but I was trying to be more concise with what I wanted to do, but I guess this actually makes sense. We just do HUD.visible, and then we would do selected, and we do sprite. What is it? Selection sprite. You're right, you're right. There are easier ways to do this. But I want to initially turn these off. Good call, Copy fan. I know I can trust you. What is this? This line may have no effect. Oh, my bad. Let's do it the right way. Oh, for how much tax the USA pays, I hope that would go quicker. No, no way. My tax dollars do not get spent on things that are necessary. I don't even know where they go. All right. That's not working. Um, hmm. Multiple ways to roam. That the other method is still a valid piece of script. Oh yeah, for sure. But this was definitely the streamlined version. This is what I was thinking of using to begin with. But I was trying. I usually refactor once I get it working, because like I don't know if this is working or not. So I almost did a console log. I've been doing some JavaScript programming. Back to work this week. Selected, and then I want to print and select. I don't think it's selecting. You had a funny moment today? What happened? Want to hear? Want to hear funnies? All right. I guess I'm adding a new one. See, my problem with this is like it can't be too large. Updating a tool for my Pokemon fan game that gets data from an API, but when sending the new data to the wiki, everything crashed since two attacks were set on being learned by machine. I've never been able to that way. So I started researching and found out there was an issue with the data set from the API. What happened? Everything crashed since two attacks were being learned by machine? What do you mean? Like it thought you were attacking the server when you were doing the API calls, or they said, good job spotting it. Can you fix it yourself? Oh my gosh. So you just ended up fixing it yourself? Did you actually fix it though? You helped somebody fix an API today? That's not funny. That's sick. Funny part is finding out for yourself though, right? Nothing really. I feel like I remember something like this happening. Ah, the GUI containers might be intercepting. No, Pokemon can learn new attacks, moves through different methods. One way is through technical machines. Oh, okay, okay, through TMs, which looks like floppy disk. Yeah, no, I've played plenty of Pokemon. I grew up with it. I just wasn't sure what you meant by learned by a machine. I'd think of them as TMs and HMs. My bad. The wiki tool crashed since there's no floppy disk item for these moves, since they have been available for over 25 years. Whoa. They've never been available? Are they, I'm assuming they're existing ones though, right? They've never been called. So you gotta like update the API to include these new skills? That is so cool. I bet that felt really neat. Just like handling an API for a Pokemon API. Just like, yeah, I got you. I could patch this. That is so cool. They exist even in the API and in your game, but never has a TM. Oh. That's actually pretty great. So it wasn't normally assigned by a TM, so it didn't have it. That's awesome. Um, hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, you got 60 seconds. Literally the Pokey API. That's so cool. Look at that. You even did the research to figure out where the move actually happens and the fact that you can add this to it. Huh. Heck yeah. My compliments to the UI artists of the Rise of the Intern. Thank you. That would be me. Thank you. Thank you. Uh Everything's designed in Figma. Over here. Uh yeah, there's a new game jam next week. This is for the stream team. So I'm not really sure if I can show this URL. I mean, it's public, right? Let me see. I don't know. Um, you have to be on the stream team to like be considered. But yeah, just something small, something simple. I'm gonna be working with the two nerdy nerds. So it looks like we'll be starting next Friday. Yo, what up, Granger? Happy Friday, man. Hopefully the snow's not kicking your butt. It finally snowed here today. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing a small little game jam together. But it's gonna be fun. I'm only slightly nervous working with the team. It's still snowing. Yeah, we've got like cold rain right now. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Like I said, I haven't really worked with a team before. Actually with another developer. I've only worked with like artists and animators. Are you gonna be doing it solo, Granger? Oh, on the collision layer. Input pickable. Oh. Interesting. Okay, let's see. No, you have another programmer? Oh, heck yeah. The rules say use only artwork you have license for, so you can use pre-made assets for this. I've never made pre-made assets for a game jam. Like, I thought that was like a big no-no. But I mean, we have Celine on our team, so I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about it. I have this weird feeling that Bernardo's gonna put me on UI, UX, and like coding and all this stuff for this. He's gonna be gameplay programming, and Celine's gonna be doing all the art and animation. I have this feeling. We haven't even talked about it yet. You could join yourself, but without actually submitting. If you're part of the stream team, you can join. Yeah, no, you have to be part of it. You guys can look at the theme and stuff there and limit myself. Yeah, if you wanted to. I mean, if you just wanted something to work on, I'm sure you can even submit a game. You just wouldn't be like able to win is all. Pre-made stuff like assets. I've never used assets to make a game. I've always felt like I've had to make my own stuff, yet I have like every asset known to man. Why aren't these working? It says that this stuff needs to be enabled. So I enabled it. You're not an artist, so finding one's not easy. No, I know that's always been my issue. That's why I decided to start drawing. And even then, I'm not really a reliable artist. I can bring this over while I'm doing research. Hey, what up, Generic B? Welcome in. Am I doing the Pirate Software one? No. I did the Pirate Software one in last July. I made this game for it, a game called Alchemist. So this was actually my first Godot game, and it was my first Pirate Software jam. But no, I'm gonna be doing this stream team game jam for my Twitch stream team, and I'm gonna be working with two other people from the stream team, the Two Nerdy Nerds actually. Two Nerdy Nerds. So I'll be working with them on our stream team game, and we're gonna be using Godot. So we've got an artist and two programmers. So I'm curious how it's gonna go. I'm also not an artist, but I can keep myself busy. Oh yeah, that's right, Okapi. You can. You could technically do the Pirate Software one right here. So this also starts in 6 days. Yeah, I mean, like, we probably would have done this one. We chose between this one and the stream team, and the stream team one, you know, we feel like it's the same prize, so why not? And we don't have to do a game design document for it. So we'll be able to spend more time making the game. Yeah, thank you. Good luck to you too if you decide to do that one. You're starting the Godot Wild Jam today? Your first game jam. Okay. Yeah, I can link this for you, copy. Well, good luck on your first game jam. I'm a game jam veteran. On my website, averagegamestudio.com. I've got all my games on here, and like 90% of these were made in game jams. 99% actually. The only one that wasn't wait, no. I think all these are game jam games. Okay, I think Jet Cake was the only one that's not a game jam. Maybe even Make It Stop, so maybe like two, yeah, like 90%. But the rest of these are all game jams. And all of them are Game Maker except for Archimist. But you guys, you got this. You crush it. Just don't spend too much time planning. Spend time just putting things together. That's, I mean, obviously plan it and then just start building. That's the goal of a game jam, is to just make something. I know you work in Godot, Goob. Thought it would be cool to do a jam with you. One day, Granger. I mean, one day we could probably figure something out. One of us can switch. We should just do a game jam, like the learn you a game jam. We should do that, and then both of us learn like Unreal Engine together, and have that be the game jam. So we both go into some unfamiliar territory. We don't have to learn a new language. We just use their little what do you call it, the node system or whatever for coding. And like, I have Unreal Development Kit experience, but it'd be a different beast. Yeah, right. We both know a little bit about it, so it would be like not totally unknown territory. However, I did build something in Unity back in the day, and you do know the coding. I could do level design if we did Unity. I know level design. I know how to place things in 3D space. I know how to set up triggers. I mean, we could. Whoa. Yeah, we'll definitely chat about it. I mean, I know we've talked about it a little bit. Yeah, we'll have to find something like over the summer or spring or something, and see if we can do a game jam. Because like obviously I'm just gonna be working on this, but we got 2 weeks for the stream game. Can't believe I had to miss my first stream of the new schedule because you had no network. Oh, that's frustrating. That's okay. Just on the next day that you're supposed to be streaming, if you can, do it. I mean, come on, you can't control the weather, right? Not yet. You might join the Pirate Jam solo. Do it. A copy. It's worth it. It's worth, even if like you have some free time to make something, make the game design document so that you have that, and then you could technically make the game if you wanted. That's like if you go here to Archimist, I have the game design doc here, so you can just steal this. You can just steal my game design document. It's public, and then you can use it as your kind of template. This is what I built all of Archimist with. So something small and simple. This was for the same game jam. Hello, John Doe ET. How average is average? The averages of the goobs. I'm the most average. I can't solve this issue. I need this selection area to work, but it's not working. It's very frustrating. I feel like I've had this happen before. I don't work right now, so what better way to spend my time? Yeah, you make something, honestly, and if you make it for the Pirate Software Jam and you make something amazing and you get noticed, like even my game got played by the judges, like somebody from a, publisher saw it and play your game and like it. You got some ideas swimming around? I'd do it. I don't know, you can't see her on camera, but Sophie's right here. Sophie? Just hanging out on the couch with you while you were doing the dishes? I was gonna say, how can you do the dishes from the couch? That's amazing. Show me your ways. Okay. Nice. Yeah, John Doe. I was talking about my game design document when I did the Pirate Software Jam back in August or something. September, August, whenever this was, September. Uh, I can share this with you. Yeah, so if you go to that link and then you scroll down, you can hit this learn more button. And then there's the game design document, so it's public. And if you want to copy this for any of your projects or whatever, this is kind of a simple template that I use, but I'm evolving one and I'm making like an interactable game design doc for people, which might take some time, but yeah. You so like your site? Thank you. I just did this like a couple weeks ago. I just cooked this up. I've been working on it for a little bit. So, something simple, something fun. Got all my games on it. Did a whole little rebrand of Average Game Studio and stuff. Yeah, it was fun. But now I'm trying to figure out why I can't do a mouse enter on this. Does this need to be above the HUD? Why? Why isn't it working? What happens if I just play this scene? It doesn't show up. Looking for work? At least I'm approaching it this way. Always looking for work. Um, I think it only checks for other areas. It may not be emitted if another collision 2D is overlapping this in question. Ah, very interesting. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So, can I just reset the scale on this? Okay. I'm gonna see if I can do something like above their head. Speaking of work, I finished converting the project over to the new version of Unity today. Oh my gosh. Granger, you're a superstar. You did that in like a week? You have to put superstar developer on your resume right now. Kicked your ass, I bet, dude. No, why don't these work? Only 3 days? Okay, now you're showing off. Making us all look bad over here. Not bad. Not always looking for work. All right, John Doe, you got Okapi fan there. I mean, just because you're working on something doesn't mean you're not looking for work, though. To be totally fair. You've been doing it for 30 years, so. Well, yeah, I mean, experience, it doesn't mean that it wasn't time consuming and annoying to work with, though, right? So, the skill is knowing where to click the buttons, but your patience makes you a superstar developer. So put it on your resume. Just kidding. I don't even know what superstar developer means. So trying to put a leg in the game industry. Just had a lot of bad luck over the back luck over the years, putting me where I am today. Program daily for hobby. My main project, which is a small RPG, I spent 3.5 years on. I mean, I need to earn my food some way. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I tried to get a job in the gaming industry, and the only job offer that I even came close to was working in serious gaming, and I didn't really want to do government gaming projects, so I kind of gave up pretty quick. I mean, that could have got me like in the door, which I guess I should have taken if I wanted to, but then I was like, I kind of like making games for fun. So you're just working on AWS. You still see it as being used by some companies. Yeah, AWS probably won't go away anytime soon. I mean, literally, we're on Twitch, which is run by AWS. You can go back to the game dev hobby. I mean, yeah, game deving does take a lot of time, even at like 2 to 3 hours a day. That's a lot of time to ask for something. How does your app window have rounded edges? My app window? Oh, I guess it does have rounded edges. It's just Windows 11. I guess I never noticed it, but yeah. Guess technically all this does. Yeah, yeah. Does Chrome have rounded edges? Yeah. I guess it's all rounded. It's always been rounded, no? Yeah. It's always been rounded. Except for Windows, this one, Windows 98. Not in 10? Was it not? Holy shit, Windows 10 wasn't rounded. How do I not remember this? I've been on Windows 11 since it came out. I've just blocked out Windows 10, apparently. Wow. Yeah, you're right. I'm I'm not drinking. Well, I am. bat juice. But that's it. Wow, I guess I've been on Windows 11 for some time. I forgot. See, yeah, Okapi fan, the biggest thing is having a network. If you can build up on a network, then like that's where you're gonna get the job. That's where people are gonna take you seriously. That's how I get most of my freelance gigs is just knowing people. All right, I might have to abandon this. This selection box is not working. I know you streamers with your bottles of invisible liquid. It's just G Fuel. Uh but not a sponsor. So if anybody wants to sponsor me for uh like game fuel, G fuel, something fuel to fuel my brain while I'm streaming, feel free. Hey, Vibrant Games, welcome in. Howdy, y'all. How you doing? The liquid is important to us. Yeah, it is. Sounds cool working with an indie studio. AAA scary. Yeah. Double A or indie. What even is a double A studio? I thought it was just indie or AAA. Well, everybody's showing up. It's a Friday night here. Hey, Bear Like Lion. Hey, good. Goob. Goob is good. How you doing tonight? Rocket fuel can be provided, but I'm not responsible for the consumption. I don't have a use for rocket fuel, unfortunately. Yeah, it'd be cool to work for an indie studio. It'd be scary though, but it's just as scary working for a AAA. You never know if it's just gonna go under. Okay, I'm doing all these things that they're saying to do. It's pickable. It exists on a layer. It has a collision shape. It's set to visible. What was that mode? Physics? Z index. I don't know. I just want this to work. Everyone that's coming in, all the new people hanging out here. I'm the average goob, and I'm working on a game called Rise of the Intern. It's a survivors-like corporate RPG. Oh, I like the sound of that. First time I've said that. I normally say it's a 2D survivors-like RPG, but yeah. Um, it's I've really just got the like some of the characters done. I've got like a customization set up and some UI and stuff. So you got like your different stats that you can distribute. You've got your different hair, shirt, pants, shoes, skin tone, just all sorts of things that you can do. And then there's gonna be level select here, and then you just hop in. I've got some hacks so that we can level up. Let me go. Once you level 60, I'll find an easier way to transition this, but you start to go gray. Oh, I plan on aging the character. I thought that was a fun little feature. But right now I'm trying to work on my selection interface. I've got some HUD here that whenever the enemy is selected, it shows their health, their name, their level, whether they're an elite or not, all that kind of stuff. So I'm struggling right now with figuring out why my selection area is not accepting my mouse inputs here. And I'm using Godot for it. So welcome in. I also explained my issue to Bear Like Lion. It's not accepting my input, man. It is so confusing. Is it getting caught on the UI? Dang it. I forgot. I didn't check this. Hold on. You might be right. I checked all the other stuff, but I didn't check this. You son of a bitch. You're hired. Bear Like Lion, you're now... Oh, wait, you're a VIP already. Never mind. No, dude, I swear I checked. I was like disabling all the stuff from like the enemy. I was checking this and I'm like, look, I did the filter ignore. I'm like, what's wrong? Why isn't it working? No, you're right. Thank you. The real MVP VIP. Right before the ad break, too. It couldn't have been more clutch. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you for the Lyrical Copy fan. I appreciate you. There we go. I'm going to have to set a global variable. Because technically, we don't want to select all of them. I guess if you just, like... Nah, we want it to be your target. As soon as I saw the hierarchy, I knew. Yeah. No, you're right. Well, I mean, like, I have a different thing. So, like, this isn't technically the HUD. This is, like... I don't know what I would call this. Status frames. They're technically just the status frames. And then I forgot that I actually have this HUD over everything. But I do need to make sure these accept mouse inputs. Pretty sure everyone's done that in Godot. Yeah, you know what's funny though is like nobody's talking about it. Nobody talks about the HUD being an issue. So they're like having that filtered. They do on some things, but they don't know my specific situation, so I always forget to check. Hey, Vibrant Games. Vibrant Games. I love that. I didn't even think about it until I said that. Thank you for the follow. All right, let's make sure these all still work. Okay, cool. Problem is like you can select tons of them in an area. So let's make that a little bit smaller. Oh yeah, for sure we got an ad break. I don't stop during ads. Oh, because if I did, I'd be stopping every 30 minutes, and I don't stream that long. Unfortunately. Oh. So go to debugger, MISC, and mouse. What does this do? Debugger. Customize run instance? What were you talking about by that? I wonder. Debugger, MISC, mouse. All right, I think we're back from ads, maybe. Bear Like Lion, what did you mean when you said go to debugger, MISC, and mouse? Project settings? Oh, it's a mouse. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Project settings, Windows, Deselect resizable? Why? What if I like resizable? The game and check the debugger. There's a missed tab showing what control mouse hit. Really? Oh. Oh. Is it me or does your game start menu look like a CRT monitor? Yeah, no, it's got the CRT monitor in it. Is it possible to set up the game window to be unresizable? Got it. Yeah, I think by default it's resizable. Sorry, I totally missed that. So click on something and go to debugger. Like with the game open? There's nothing in here. Go to MISC. I don't see a MISC. Tab at the top. Oh, I'm gonna be real. I didn't think anything past that. Okay, what does this do? Oh, so it tells you what you've clicked on. Oh. Bro, you are the debug master. See, I haven't I didn't make it very far in the course that I learned Godot with. I've just been kind of learning this as I'm going, and that's super helpful. So what you're saying is when I click on the window, it was probably gonna say, yeah, like look at that. I can click on the health bar and the experience bar and the timer container. Interesting that it didn't consider that being a click. Blew someone's mind with reading memory using breakpoints in Godot Discord. I mean, hey, when you have to figure out issues on your own, like this is you end up like digging into things. It's like the Chrome inspect element. It sure is. It sure is. Export measures as CSV. That's interesting. What is this? I don't want to save it. That's so cool. So I can see the menu container was clicked. That is neat. Yeah, I'm still like a noob at debugging in Godot, but give me a website, I'll figure all the issues out. Wait until you have to dive into the profiler. Yeah, not looking forward to all that stuff, but one of these days. Okay, so I need to pass a variable that an enemy is selected. We need to send it to the player so that we can use targeted abilities. Selected? No. Yeah? Yeah, we can do this. And then maybe I don't do it there. Maybe I do it here. I'm lazy and put all my signals in an events global. I think I had something like that. I think I deleted it. I had a whole event bus, but eh. Another question, if it's possible to draw a grid or any kind of drawing that would require some kind of sprite. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's something quick and easy. Just do a Godot, draw grid, 2D. Oh, yeah, you could probably do it. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I actually drawing an infinite grid or like a specific background, parallax background, do a texture rect. Technically, yeah, you could do a rectangle texture and then just do your grid that way. Saw something similar with an event bus that's connected to my game manager. Yeah, you have, yeah. I was thinking about doing that. I might eventually devolve into that though. I don't really know, like I'm still kind of new to these. So like when the enemy gets selected, I would send this there. Like what enemy? And I know Bear Like Lion, you said don't typecast these or whatever, but it helps me with debugging. And then I have the player group already, as long as there's a connection. No type at all. I will type everything. Somebody told me they didn't like typing. I don't know if it was you or not. Shows a grid when you draw the tiles from the tile set. Yeah. Yeah, like on the actual scene when you're doing the tile set, there's a grid over it. I know what you're talking about. All right. I don't need this here. I need just a local variable. This gets the nearest enemy. I should probably change this. What? The couches suck. Every script, you type everything, every script has a class name. Yeah. I try to give as much as I can, like for class names and stuff. Makes it easier when you're referring to like the different types of bodies and like the collisions. It's not Taco Tuesday, Ooga Booga. It's Friday. It's Fried Friday. Coming up with Fried Friday over here. So if I do enemy selected and put it in here and pass it, I don't even need to do this. This is the thing. Like, I just need to set a variable. Why would I need to pass a signal? I guess this is like the safe way to do it. You think it finally stopped snowing? Finally, Granger. Wait, what? Did I not set the signal? Do what works best for you. It's just a variable. Do it that way. Yeah, I think it really is. Um, I feel like that would just be easier, right? Because I'm not. There we go. So if the player's there, we set the enemy. And then what I need to do, probably need to set this above, right? If the player's, let's do if not player return, because it's pointless if there's no player. And then we do if player dot selected enemy. Then we do player dot selected enemy dot selected equals false. So what I'm trying to do is like get rid of the old one. We can refactor this later. Famous last words. Another 6 inches on top of the 12 you got earlier? Oh no, and I have to shovel more. The thing is though, is the more often you shovel it, the less strenuous? The less strenuous it's gonna be. Whoa. I'm just gonna make a function. Um, oh, whoops. If it's more than 3 lines of code, I make it a function always. Welcome in, not the other you. Yeah, that's actually really good advice, and I find myself doing that when this happens to me. I'm just like, okay, like this. Now I just go player dot selected enemy dot selection HUD, and then we just do false. Well, I guess the default, but I'm gonna be safe and do false. And then we just do selection HUD here. True. Okay, so left click is pressed. We check the player. If there's a player, then we check the player if selected enemy is set. Then we say player.selected enemy.selection false. And then we need to set the new selection here. So we go if player, we do player.selected enemy equals self. Done. That's a function. Me when my variables float, goob stare. The goob stare is gonna win the emote of the year. I can see it already. Goob Goob won it last year. Goob Goob was used like 600 times last year. And I don't even think I had Goob Goob until like the fall. Everybody's just gonna do goop stare. I don't know which emotes are free, but I think I give a few of them for free. But Twitch made me put the other ones behind a sub wall. Thank you for the goop goops. LA is melting, but for some reason, for other reason, and then other parts are melting. Yeah, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it's the apocalypse right now. Goop stare costs money. No, it doesn't. It's oh, did you unlock it with your points? That's awesome. Red rum or redrum dev. Welcome in. Oh wait, was that John Doe? I like the new name change. If that is you, you kept the same orange. I like that. That's a good name change. Now you're no longer a John Doe. Welcome in on the new name. We've got Granger devs. We've got Goob devs. We've got Redrum. Is it from Shining? The Shining or Shining? I don't know what that is. The only one I know is that song Red Rum from 21 Savage. Oh, from The Shining. How do you say it? It's just murder backwards. Oh. Yeah, it is. I didn't. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So you're Ved murder. Just kidding. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, what? Selection code that works on the first try? Oh, all right. Hold up. Um, okay. Question. How do we accommodate for an enemy that dies while they're selected? I guess I would just check to see if this one's selected. We do have a die. We have an enemy died thing. What did I connect it to? Enemy state.dead. All right, if player, then we do if player.selected enemy equals self. And we do player.selected enemy equals null. All right, what happens? Hey, it worked. Off to do some dev work. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Bear Like Lion. I hope that you get some productive work done, and I appreciate your help today. You are truly a VIP. All right, cool. So now the selection abilities, we can have selected abilities. We can also check up on the employees. Cool, cool. Now, if I want to deselect them, okay, what we can do is we can handle the input from the player. Do it at the bottom. Yeah. No, because we're gonna add more stuff there. Okay. Handle inputs or selection. Unhandled input. If event dot is action pressed, we want left click. And then we want to say if selected enemy equals null. $3,333. Why so pricey? I could buy some property somewhere specific. What's 3,333? I swear if you say property in Egypt, Ooga Booga, I'll time you out for 2 seconds. I'm just kidding. Oh man. All right. Well, now it's just broken. Okay. We need to do selected enemy dot selection HUD false. No, that's an equivalent to eternal suffering. I'm sorry. I don't know what eternal suffering. Do I know what eternal suffering is? I've been alive forever. Just kidding. Okay, now it's not selecting at all. It gives you a purpose, something to aspire to be. That kind of thing can't be bought. Oh, I like that. He's memeing on us. Ooga Booga's just memeing on us. I mean, should I just make it is not equal to null? Hang on, we're gonna use that new debug method we just learned. What was the last thing I clicked on? Start game button. But technically, if I... Now it's not clicking on the enemies. Is that only if I click on the... You're on the grind, you're locked in, just need to know the step of the operation. I don't have any operation. Hey, Ryan Hawkins, good evening. How are you doing? Hope things are going well. All right. We're gonna move this to the process event. How do I get that? Meh, but sort of progress. That's good. That's good. Progress is always good. Strive for progress. Hey, Otter Make Games, welcome in. Raiding with the party of 19. How you doing? How was stream? What were you working on? Thank you for giving him a shout out. I was actually just about to do that. We can snooze the ads. We got ads coming in, but we can snooze them so the raiders can hang out for a second and see what's up. No, Ooga Booga, I don't know. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday. If you have to raid and run, I totally get it. But yeah, welcome in. Hello, Link you. Otter raid. So cute. You're working on your demo, hopefully for Steam Next. Oh, is that coming up? I did stop in on your stream just a little bit before I started, and I was seeing some of the art you were doing. Welcome in, Raiders. I'm the Average Goob, and I am a professional web designer and developer and a hobbyist game designer, and I'm currently working on a Godot game project called Rise of the Intern. It's a 2D survivors-like RPG based in a corporate world, and I haven't made like too much like game RPG progress and stuff as far as you would say, but I've got character selection. I've got stat distribution. I've got full character customizer from skin tone to hair to face to shirt to the pants and the shoes. And then we got level selects, which are just all tied to the testing one right now. But yeah, oh, I forgot. You can name yourself Gooby. But yeah, so you're applying for an internship and you're trying to take down the company that ruined your life. And right now, I've got some basic survivors gameplay. So I've got the player, I've got a little cheat menu to level me up. We got all these stats, and we've got enemies that are chasing me. Right now, I'm working on trying to set up a selection interface and then a deselection interface so that if you select off of them, they disappear. But obviously, it's not working. And yeah, so it's just been kind of a day of making some more RPG elements and making things work. But I think, yeah, so this is what I was working on. So if you select the enemies, you can kind of see their stats. And yeah, it's actually looking pretty good now. But we got basic wave progression. Right now, it's actually an infinite survivors game. So if I was good enough, I could actually level up and I could survive. And we've got enemies that chase me. And after killing 100 enemies, I've got a boss that spawns. And I've got like ways to increase my damage, my levels. I can heal up, so I can test these. But yeah, it's a fun little project so far. Just mow down the enemies. I have a radius damage by default for now, just to help with some of this. But then we've got this little mug that we toss. We've got crits, we've got defense, we've got scaling enemies. So you can see now these characters are level 9. We've got a level 13 in there, which is, closer to my level. So we've got elite enemies and boss enemies. They'll have like their different ranks and stuff to help scale their stats. Like we've got full RPG stuff going on. I don't have any healing items, so I'm doing the healing myself. But we've got dodging, we've got XP, I have inventory, I just have to do visuals for all that stuff. Um, but I'm actually, I'm using Figma for all my UI design. So I've got Figma here. This is actually where I started with the title screen, getting all that stuff in there. And a lot of this translated pretty easily over to Godot. So that's why I decided just to go with Figma. I could organize it and then build it pretty one-to-one. And so the thing we were working on is the enemy selection. And then you want to dig in further to some of the other games I've made, you can head over to averagegamestudio.com and check out my portfolio. So I've made quite a few games. These top items here are my more recent games. And then further down is a portfolio of all the Game Jam games. Not really any long-term projects, but Game Jam games that are all here. So you can have fun checking those out. Archimist is my latest game. I released back in September. And this is my first Godot project. So all my other games were made in Game Maker. But I've been enjoying Godot, and so I'm going to continue with it until I either get bored of it or it doesn't do what I want it to do. So settle in and prepare for some coding bugs. Okay. Godot. Uh, deselect. No. What would I be looking for? Mouse clicked on nothing. I don't even know what I'm looking for here. How to detect if I click on nothing. Somebody knows. Unhandled input for unused click events. All right, so we're going to debug this. I think I can probably put this in here. You're going to go feed the doggos, but be back. Oh, but leave a lurk and be back shortly. I appreciate that. Automate Games, thank you for the lurk, and thanks for the raid too. Get them doggos fed. I'll be here. Oh, it captured double clicks. Interesting. Okay. So I'll just basically pull this if is action pressed. Left click. And can select is false. Selection HUD. Oh, here we go. This is, we also want to do player. So if no player, turn player dot selected enemy, player dot selected enemy dot selection HUD false. Since we're rated, I shall stay silent to prevent something about Egypt now. You just mentioned it. You failed. Ah, dang it. Okay. Um, can select. No, this should work. Shouldn't have to rely on can select or not. I was never here. Why is this so touchy? Like, it definitely was working. It was checking the left click. Maybe too many inputs. Yeah, it I don't understand how the input events work right now. And I don't wanna do this, like, this is, like, putting a whole control over the entire thing, like, that's just messy. Yeah, like, so I have it checking the input, and then I'm checking non-used inputs, and it's supposed to check if there's an enemy selected, then it deselects any enemy, but it, like, overrides the complete event if this is being done. Like, this is what I would want, technically. I'd want it to be like, if the mouse is clicked, but it's not selecting anything, then it runs this function. But I feel like this function's overriding my entire selection function. Typically, what I do for that is if the input is caught by something, I mark it as such. And if the input's not caught by anything, then by default, I go into whatever I want to. That's what I thought I was doing. Like, right now, when I select, nothing should happen. But when I select an enemy, it should bring up that HUD. But that selection input is not working. It's like this is overriding. It's overriding this input. So I don't really understand how I'm supposed to capture a non-input. And so like for this one, I'm using can select. Hey, Twisted Mood. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'm using can select, which I'm determining based on if the mouse is in this area. So like I've got this base enemy, this little yellow spot is what you can select. And then if the mouse is in there and you click, then it runs this function. But then I want an unhandled event on the player. So this is always running with the player. If you click the mouse button and there's a selected enemy, we undo it when it's unhandled. But I guess maybe I don't understand how that works. It's probably overriding because you're not making the input as handled. I don't know how to say that it's handled. Like this function, this unhandled input is a Godot built-in function. And it's saying when it hasn't been consumed by your input or control. So this should be like a default function. Twisted Mood, how long have you been doing game dev? I have been doing game dev for half my life, if not more. I've been making games since I was pretty young. I started with RPG Maker XP, RPG Maker 2000, 2003. And then I did Game Maker 8.1. And then I used Game Maker forever. I went to college for game design where I learned Unreal Engine, or I guess Unreal Development Kit at the time. And I've used Construct, I've used Construct 2, Unity, all sorts of things. So Godot is the most recent one I've learned, and I'm kind of dipping my toes head first into it. So I'm doing a long-term project with it called Rise of the Intern. It's a survivors-like RPG based in a corporate world. There's gonna be mini games, there's quests, there's collections, all that fun stuff. Oh, there's a function called set input as handled. Why did this? Why is this in French? How long has it been in French? Function's been moved to viewport. It goes to the French for me too. I think that's because it was the only version of it. That's so cute. I like it. I think I like that one a lot better. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. You can try. I think an angry Godzilla is pretty cute still. Uh, what was the function for this? Get viewport. Would that? I mean, that would be interesting if that was it. Yeah, no problem, Twisted Moon. You're a professional dev, not web, so you're just wondering how long it took you to get to this point. I wouldn't consider where I'm at with Godot at this point, to be honest. Oh my gosh, it worked! Link you, you're a genius. Thank you so much for the help. Appreciate that. That worked. So you do have to tell it that the input's been handled, and that any input you want to use. Now, it doesn't like tell me what to use, but I'm assuming it's tying it to this left click, saying that it's been handled. So, hey, the input event page is pretty good at explaining all the steps, but it's extremely verbose. Yeah, that's the problem, is like finding what you need specifically. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So it goes into unhandled input, anything that it doesn't call. Interesting. I'll have to keep this in mind. I'm actually going to put a note here. Now, this is like a very specific use case of this, so I don't know if like I'll need to do this again in this project, but it's pretty handy. Make sure all my events still work. Yeah, it still handles everything nicely. Thank you. Another question, since you're a professional dev, how do you make sure you don't burn out since you do dev work during the day as well? I'm just asking because I do the same. My programming job is pretty chill. I want to do game dev as a hobby, but I'm a passionate person. I want to make awesome games that I enjoy. That's a really good question, Twisted Moon. Um, so the trick is that I don't do it every day all the time, and I balance my game dev with other aspects of game dev. So since I'm indie and doing it as a hobby, I can do anything that I want with the project. So if I want to work on art one day, I can work on art. If I'm burned out in code, I can work on art or UI. If I'm not feeling creative, I can solve logical problems. And so there's like this huge balance. And like since I use Figma for, my professional work, and I'm a freelance web developer, designer, but like I use this, Figma and stuff. I was like, oh, I can use this for my design for my game design stuff. And so it worked kind of like overlapping in a way. And so I started just designing some UI elements, and I started pretty hefty, doing with like my character selection and interface for the title. And I was like, okay, so I made this, and this is what it used to be. Like I started off with this, and I was like, I don't feel like coding this right now. I don't feel like coding more of this. So I was like, I'll design it. And so it's just like I balance that burnout with just doing other aspects of the project. If I get tired of coding or doing graphics, I can do character design and art, and I can bring these characters to life. I pull out my iPad and I can start drawing. If I'm burned out on all that stuff, there's music and sound effects. I've got a mic, I've got Audacity, so I can start doing like sound effects and stuff for the game. Uh, and really, it's just all about keeping that balance. So like, I do get burned out. I get creative burnout, and if you're around long enough and everything, you'll see there's there's been times like I just started streaming about a year ago pretty regularly, and there's been times where I'd like take 8 to 10 days off because I just want to play video games, and my stream doesn't really like thrive on the video game streams, but it does help recharging the battery. So I do like to play video games. That helps recharge, and then balancing between everything really helps too. And it was like a long way to say that, just balancing between different aspects, but hopefully we got there. I'm doing it all indie solo as well. Nice. You're gonna be doing music and sound effects, art, the coding, design, whatnot. Yeah, no, I hope that helps. And you're gonna get burned out. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If you're doing long hours at work and then you're doing game dev in the evening, you're gonna get burned out. I added the extra layer of streaming it, so I get burned out a little bit faster. But I feel like sharing my ideas, sharing it on Blue Sky, sharing it on stream, I feel like a lot of people have been helping me. I feel like a lot of people have been like there to like push me through some of the issues that I deal with, and I love that. Will you rage? Thank you for the follow and welcome in. Hey, Chief Multi Hat, crack the whip back to code. Gotta recharge. Hey, Jerry Go Wind, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Or Ryan Hawkins shutting the door with the sound effects for my games. Same, that's what I ended up doing as well, playing games on weekday streams and dev on weekend streams. Yeah, I think that if like you do end up streaming your game dev stuff, it's really important to have that balance. Um, and honestly, I started my stream by playing Elden Ring, but I did a game jam and loved it. And I feel like having people be there to push you a little bit is kind of motivating. Like, oh, I have to get this done because people want to see it on stream, and then sometimes I feel like the pressure of that, but it's self-made pressure. Like, you guys don't care if I get it done. Like, you're not a producer, you're not spending money on me finishing this game. Your guys' support is for me, and that's why I appreciate all this. It does help motivate me though. Will You Rage says, I'm dealing with burnout too, was lurking here for a while, and love your answer. Balance is key, work on different aspects. Well, thank you. I'm glad you agree. And, I hope that I can help inspire too. I know that when I watch other game devs like Foolbox and Setolix and even Automake Games, like I feel motivated to work on my own projects whenever people like that are streaming their progress, whether it's working on a sprite, doing some audio, talking to chat with their code up. Like I absolutely love those kinds of streams for co-working, and it's just it motivates me. Bramo, thank you for the follow and welcome in. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm glad we can all just be here, burned out, working through projects together. That's what it's all about. It's not what we make, it's how we handle what we're making while we're making it. It doesn't matter. We just make something. I could be making Pong and, still enjoy my time here. Yeah, you watch for motivation too? That's good. It's not easy being a game dev and doing the same thing basically for work, but you gotta love it. It's a passion. And honestly, the reason I keep doing this is because it's a hobby and a passion. Maybe I'll stream at some point too, but I'm autistic and socializing drains me. Thanks again. Yeah, no problem, Twisted Mood. That's another thing too, is like manage yourself, listen to your body. If you're feeling stressed, like you don't have to stream. If you're feeling energized, stream. But yeah, I totally feel that. Like I usually stream for like 2 hours when I stream. Lately it's been a little bit longer because I've been taking more time in between streams. But like last night I did like a World of Warcraft classic stream for like 3 hours or something. I did a game dev stream, 2 days before that for 3.5 hours or whatever. And so I was just drained and just didn't feel like doing game dev yesterday. But I wanted to hang out. And that's what it comes down to, is like sometimes a stream is just a place to hang out. Sometimes I don't feel the pressure, but it's rare. Lock in and buy the low taper. I need to get a haircut, honestly. I know it doesn't look like it, but like my hair is getting down there. Thank you for doing the shout outs for me, Ryan. I appreciate that. I'm talking about the idea of streaming game dev and code. My alerts are too long, about 15 seconds worth, because I really like the music. I mean, hey, you cut them down a little bit. You can have different sounds when you're doing code. You can disable them too if you want, and then just do the coding part. Boom. Selection indicator done. We accomplished something. Show stats on the enemy when selected. I think this is more of a debug thing. So I'm going to console log the stats. The burnout is real. Seriously, though, I think we all get a bit burned out, especially if you do it solo. Yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt that if you're doing solo, you're going to get burned out. But again, how you handle that is like you just jump on different aspects of it. Like I started this project, Rise of the Intern. I started it on October 2nd, and it's all documented on my YouTube channel. But I started with the game design doc, and I built out this like 35-minute long document. But this is just the organized version of it. There was notes, tons of notes and ideas and game mechanics and planning. That's the other thing too. If you ever get stuck uh working on bits of your projects, open up like a mood board and mood board like an idea that you want to do. Like I started with like different drawings of things that I wanted to do. I thought this guy was funny. And then you just practice, and then like I came to like a conclusion with art. I picked all the inspiration, AI, real life, vector, graphics, everything. We got AI at our disposal. No, my character is not going to look like this wonky AI character, but I liked the aesthetic. I liked the shininess. I like different things about it. And then you go make your own stuff. I found a YouTuber that did like tons of cartoon facial expressions and hair and stuff. And so I just kind of, went from these, and I utilized these in my drawings. Like you get inspired, and that's part of the process. Like when you're burned out, go get inspired, play video games, listen to music, take a walk in the forest, breathe in that beautiful oxygen given to us. the ideas just start flowing. And I think like it's not just balancing like the things you do in your project, it's balancing your life around it too. Oh, anyways, I'm very passionate. I love this. I love this stuff. And I love that everybody else is here that loves it too. It's awesome. I love socializing online, which is why I'm a yapper. That's okay, Booga Booga. I think a lot of people are getting into it being easier to just kind of socialize online. Like in person socializing, you got me for 2 hours maximum, 3 hours. If there's maybe drinks involved, like 5 hours or something, because time just flies or whatever. But like, yeah, in person socializing is tough. Hey, next Prodigy, how's up? How's up? What's up? How's it going? My odd trick to burnout: have two projects. You can always move between them. Move to something fresh between the two. Yeah, that's why like, and I know we're like going on this huge tangent. I should just go to like just chatting, but like that's why like most of my game projects have been game jams is because it's something small and quick. Like you can get something prototyped and out there so fast. Like this game uses your mouse and three keys, and all you do is you move the arms around, and this mouse automatically does all the other stuff for you. It like wanders around. You can tell it to attack and retrieve food, and these other mice come in and try to steal the food from you. Like it was just something fun to build. And it's like you do it quick. Like I want to make another clicker game. Like this was a really popular and fun game when I released it. It's double chocolate chip muffin clicker. You just click on the muffin. Like it's just fun to do small projects too. And I think accomplishing something is more important than making progress on multiple things too. So like go make Pong, release it, and then hop back to your main project. You love the passion the same way. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that, and that's the other thing, putting myself out there. I'm finding more people who are like me with the passion for game design and development and stuff, and I'm learning from people. Surround yourself by people who are smarter than you. I live by that. Sometimes jumping to other aspects will help motivate you to set it up in the game or want to create new sounds. Yeah, that's a great idea. I have projects inside of projects. Yeah, yep. Mini games inside of your game is a huge way to handle that too. That's an awesome portfolio website. Thank you. Thank you. Took me a couple weeks to build this out, but obviously it's taken 20 years to build up the actual portfolio. Hey, Link you. Thank you for the follow. Oh, and you're out of here. Again, thank you for the follow. Have a good night, Link you. Hope to see you around. I see no tangents, just good advice all around. No, you're right. Totally. No tangents at all. I don't me get distracted? Ever. All right, we are going to make a helper function to print stats. And then we're going to steal it from, I got to clean up my scripts. Once I get like this with all these scripts, it starts to get hard to find things. All right, we're just going to take this. We're going to print health. What all do we got? We got health, damage, defense, crit. I'm just going to copy this into a notepad doc. How's your game going? I've been lurking. I saw some stuff showing up on enemies. Ooh, next Prodigy. It is going pretty good. Here, let me show it off. We got a couple new people in here. So if anybody's paying attention that doesn't know what I'm working on, this is Rise of the Intern, and we have a desktop, so we can drag stuff around. We can name files and folders. We can even change it to like, let's do like code.file, and then we can turn our dreams and goals into a console. And then we can drop the code into the console. And then there's a message that says a hacker's been found. And then you can turn that into like a group and move stuff around. You can drag stuff into the trash bin. And that's my game. Just kidding. So I've got like all the character classes here. They all have like their performance bonuses. And then you can actually, give some stat distribution to them. So if I wanted like extra damage and everything, put that in workload capacity. And I'm going to make it so when you hover over these, it tells you kind of like the equivalents, what they modify. We can name ourselves. We can randomize our appearances, or we can custom select things from skin tone to the different hairstyles. We got the faces, we've got the shirts, we've got pants, and we've got shoes. And then we've got the level select, which are the different companies. And right now I have an infinite wave spawner going on right now for testing. And then when you select an enemy, oh, that guy died. When you select an enemy, it shows information about them. And if they die, it disappears. But yeah, that's what I was working on today. So we've got the selection working. I built the HUD a couple days ago for it. And then when you deselect it, you deselect them. I'm dying pretty quick. That's not good. Also, this game's not that balanced. The spawners are increased so that I can test it. So I have this little heal cheat. Don't worry about that. You remind me to look at my forgotten Miro board describing game ideas. Hey, it's not forgotten if you just remembered it. Now you're going to have to go out and look, make a game from it, and then thank your past self. The hacker print is an easy hidden Steam achievement. It totally is. I do plan on getting this on Steam, but I can't guarantee, like, minimum I'm going to release the game, right? Steam is the goal. Shows the HP bar. Yeah, so it's got their name, their HP, their level, and then some of them I have them randomizing to be elites. So there's like a little elite status symbol, which just means they're a little bit stronger. We got 60 enemies killed here. Let me level up. Let me heal up. Let me go mow some of these guys down. All right, the boss should have spawned. There's the boss. There's the boss. And the boss is going to have a health bar that goes across the screen. And then I'm also going to make it so he doesn't collide with other people, but that's an afterthought here. I would destroy him if I ran into him right now. Oh no, the boss is your boss. Yeah, that's like the first boss is going to be the HR manager, and they're all going to have like special abilities, like the things they say, things they throw. I'm gonna have to like set their custom health and everything. Yeah, so like right now, if I went and destroyed the boss, another one should actually spawn because I think I just killed 100 more enemies. Yep, there's another boss. So it's an infinite wave spawner right now. And everything scales. So I worked on enemy scaling. So like their health scales, like they're at 70 health now, 71. And when you level up your stats, they affect different things. Like fitness levels up your defense and your dodge. Multitasking is fatigue, which is your ability power, and dodge chance. Knowledge levels up your fatigue, which it'll have. Each class has like a different thing. Like this one uses fatigue. Gamer uses rage. Then we have communication that levels up your crit chance and your dodge chance. Your cunning levels up your damage and crit. So a lot of stuff going on here. This is neat and the performance looks really good. Thank you. I have not really worked on performance too much, but I'm hoping that I don't have to worry about that as much. We also have a little arrow indicator whenever the character goes through waves of enemies. I'm just mingling. This is my social battery draining. Very inspiring to see somebody with so much experience. Thank you. Uh, I have imposter syndrome, so I don't feel like I have a lot of experience, but uh, I try my best. We need to boost this viewer count 3x the amount, keep it average for the while. Why? What? Keep an average of it? Oh, get verified partner? Yeah, I don't stream enough for that. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool with anybody, dropping in, hanging out, leaving. I try to be as inclusive for the viewership as I can. Like I keep VODs on my channel. I also upload all of the VODs to YouTube. There may be some special streams that don't go to YouTube, but you catch them live, you get to see it exclusive. And yeah. Speaking of which, I know you're watching, VOD viewer. I see you out there. Gary, Veronica. I don't know anybody named Veronica. This is funny. One time I was saying Ryan instead of saying Ryan Hawkins, and somebody was like freaking out. They're like, "How did you know my name?" Just a lucky guess. Oh, I died. I died. Just started game dev after graduating, and I'm 32. Makes me wish I started when I was a teenager. Yeah, no, I feel that, Twisted. I feel that, like, I'm 31 and I've been deving, designing like my whole life, but I wish I would have taken it more seriously when I was younger, when I had more time. Because it catches up to you, that realization of lack of time. That's all right though. I'm 47, still working on a project that started 12 years ago. Hey, as long as you're working on it, release something though. That's my biggest advice: is release something. It motivates the hell out of you. Like once you get something out there, it just feels different. Like you feel like you've accomplished something, and then you have people say, "Wow, wow, look at all your games." Like people say to me, and I'm just like, "Yeah, most of those were made in like 48 hours, though. They're not like full games." But it's like the motivation behind it is like keeping me on like a project like this. I didn't touch it for 8 years. Okay, well, you know what? Then there you go. You just work on it here and there. So yeah, you can't even hold yourself accountable for that, really. I mean, at least you worked on something, but like get a demo out, share it with people, see what people think. If it's a passion project, it's a little harder because then you're going to take any kind of criticism a little bit more to heart. But who cares? What do those people know? Sometimes try to get streamers also named Ryan instead of a Ryan command. Oh, well, my name is Josh, and we don't have a Josh command either. So sad day. I've always been creative and I've always played games, always wondered how they were made, but I didn't want to do it as a profession because I heard how toxic the industry is. Same. So I'm just a boring back-end dev for work and will do this as my hobby and passion. I think that's good. A lot of people that I know, streamer wise, that have gone into game dev started out as like a front end or web developer, or that's what they were doing and they'd like really wanted to make a game. So I think you're on the right path. And honestly, indie game stuff, like For some people, it probably pays the bills. It's never paid the bills for me. So all it is a hobby for me right now. Unless for some reason I get my big break and a game takes off and people start throwing money at me for no reason, it's probably just gonna be a hobby. But yeah, I'm a front end web dev and a web designer, so I get that. I do graphic design and stuff too. I also may or may not create a dev's name Ryan starter pack on Blue Sky. That would be funny. I think I've seen something like that. Like people make packs with like specific things. It's pretty funny. Created a map for a couple FPS games and you got to try to create your own game. Yeah, that'll do it. Modding games is definitely one of the ways people get into making games. Like look at the Elden Ring mods that are out there. Tons of mods. And I'm like, why not just make a game? But as long as you're having fun, who cares? Oh, max speed. I was looking for where that variable was. I literally copied and pasted these to a text document so I could read them while I'm doing this. I heard the skills carry over. Yeah, they do. Any kind of like web or backend dev or whatever. Like as long as you know how to like code, like even learning GD script was very easy for me because it follows a structure, you understand logic, you'll figure out how to translate what you know into this new language. Using Take Two graphics, I made all my imagery for a 3D perspective and 2D RPG for Apple. After AppleSoft Basic loaded all the sprites, I had no memory for the game. This ended game dev back in '88. Oh man, now I'm back at it. Wow, Take Two. That's been a while. I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, I think that was another thing. It was like I was talking about don't make an RPG for your first game. We all want to, and I did. Um my first game that I actually made was an RPG. And it took me like 6 months, 8 months or something. Um I don't know why I'm gonna share this with you. Uh I did stream this though. I did stream this, but I made an RPG maker and like honestly, this was super ambitious, but this was like the first released game that I did. Um I've since taken it down, but like if you wanted to watch the whole playthrough, it is on my YouTube channel. And it's called Fatal Destiny, but how old I was like 14 when I made this. Don't make an RPG for your first project. It's so time consuming. It's demotivating. It's difficult, and it'll feel like you're not making any progress over time. Like start with Pong, start with Asteroids, do something like that, and get yourself into it. And then slowly work your way into something like I probably shouldn't be working on an RPG right now, but what do I know? You learned full stack dev in college, not a ton of front end. Yeah, I'd see, and I'm the opposite. I'm like all self-taught on my development stuff, and I kind of regret not doing full stack. I should have learned a little bit more back end, but I'm understanding databases and serverless, all that kind of stuff now a little bit better than I used to. I feel like the terminology changes so often that I'm just like, what are we building? Probably a hobby for life, which you don't mind, that's good. And as long as like approach it as a hobby and something that you do in your free time, and I feel like you'll probably stick to it more than if you're trying to make money with game dev right away. Unless you have like this money making idea like Flappy Bird out of nowhere, which we can all think of Flappy Bird, right? Like, I wouldn't take it too serious and hurt yourself over it. Just have fun with it. Part of some mod teams? Heck yeah. Enjoying yourself and having fun with it is the most important part. Like, if you're not doing it for money, then I wouldn't stress yourself out too much. There's no point in stressing out on things that, you're trying to have fun doing. Like, I don't like speed read. I love reading now. I didn't used to like reading as much, but I like reading now. It would be silly for me to get upset if I don't finish a book fast. I'm making an RPG for my first game. But next Prodigy, I'm just saying. Like, if you want motivation from yourself, if you want, like, if you don't want to feel imposter syndrome right away, like, if you release something small and get it out there, like, your RPG will seem less daunting. But if you scale it down, like, maybe you start with, like, you want a crafting system, your RPG is about crafting. You don't have enemy levels, you don't have monsters that you fight, you don't have abilities. It's just like crafting. It's easy. You make items, and that you can gather these items, and then you can combine these items. So it's like already pretty advanced, but it doesn't sound like it's advanced until you start making it. And that's what kind of like demotivates people. That's what makes people quit their game projects, is like it sounds easy, but when you start doing it, you're like, okay, okay. And then you spend like weeks working on one script. Like this character stat script, it took me like hours to build out what I wanted just for stats, and just for like figuring out what the stats did and how to like put them together and what I wanted them to do. Inventory, this is my nightmare. So it's just like these things that is like I'm not even focusing on them. I'm focusing on just the survivors like right now. Technically, I haven't worked on anything in like 20 minutes, but that's not the point. Oh, actually, we want this only on here. Wait, what the game jam gonna be like? What's the main theme? I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be about, Ooga Booga. I don't find out until next Friday. So in a week from now, I'll be starting the game jam. We're gonna be doing a game jam with the two nerdy nerds. It's a stream team game jam for our indie game developers team. But yeah, we don't know the theme quite yet. But we're gonna be making a game in Godot with the two nerdy nerds, and I will be streaming it. My first game I want is a 2D pixel art fishing game, reminiscent of Stardew Valley, but just fishing focused because I love fishing. Exactly, that's perfect. Twisted Mood. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Find something you really like and just make that one thing and then expand on it. Once it's made, expand on it. Like, I don't just start making a survivors game. I start by making player movement. I start by making enemies chase the player. And then I start adding damage. And like, you just do it one step at a time. The game builds itself. It 100% builds itself. All right, this function I did should print the stats of the enemy that I add. Employee health. Oh, I gotta cap those. Cool. Back down to that. Wait, that's fine. Um, What did we do here? str dot, what was the function again? Pad decimals. It's weird that you have to do this on strings, but I'm glad it has this. What happened here? Oh, get ahead of myself. There's no back down now. I'm too far. I'm mostly drawing enemies and custom tiles, so that's everything else is done. That's sick. I love that, Prodigy. See, I think that's awesome though, is like sometimes ambition will outweigh motivation. So like if you're ambitious enough to like accomplish something and get it done, that you create your own motivation. And that's another thing I've learned is like if I don't feel motivated, I usually get motivated when I start working on something. Like streaming today, I wasn't totally sure what I was going to do, but I just started streaming and working on something, and honestly, like I don't go on my stream to accomplish stuff as much as like start stuff and get motivated to do stuff. And I feel like sharing my progress with everybody really helps with that. All right, cool. So we get stats that we can see. Check this out. We're checking off things. Show stats when enemy selected. Done. You don't know if anybody would play it though. Twisted Mood, another thing I learned, make the games you want to play. People will play them. Like there are like-minded people out there, and that's how a lot of like indie games start, is they're making the game that they wish was out there. And that's why like a lot of indie game developers that aren't doing it for money, or just developers that aren't doing it for the money, is they're doing it out of passion usually. And when they start sharing their project and enjoying what they're doing, other people get excited about it too. So definitely share it too. If you don't have a blue sky, make sure you set up a blue sky, share progress, make sure you use tags, and people will start flocking to it that like your content for sure. You see, and like a fishing game that's engaging, I've seen them out there. There's tons of fishing games. You want to make a game about buying property in Egypt on default? We'll get to it, Ooga Booga. You can use Tribal Wars as a base. Use Age of Empires. Build up a base. You have to go chop down trees to get money. Sell the money. Sell the money. Sell the wood to get money. And then you buy property. Done. Try to keep the scope small, as you don't want to die during the process. Oh, have a good night, Twisted Mood. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. I'm actually getting ready to wrap up myself. Yay, another check. Hey, GG. No, this is good. I think the next thing I'll work on is probably the boss, getting the boss information up there when they spawn. I've already done some of the stat tracking, so this is actually pretty easy. And then the ability systems are going to be hefty. So let's move player scaling down here. Let's move floating text and aging the player. Eventually, I'm going to clear this out. All right. We've only got a few more HUD things to really land on. Saving and loading player data. I don't know how long I should wait for that. Once I have all the player stuff that I want to save and load, I might focus on that. But yeah, this is not it. Like we have all this stuff too. So we've got core game systems, we've got design, we've got art, we've got combat systems, we've got the different game modes. So there's plenty of stuff to work on. This is just the high level tasks to help me stay a little bit more focused. You have directories in your repos just for clones to practice. What do you mean? Like doing like making games? Try to start back around September 2023, almost done. Then I'll attempt to port it over to Godot. Oh, that'd be cool. What are you porting over from? Oh, of games you like. That's a good idea. Keep a list of games that you like to copy mechanics from that you can like make, because like if you really like them, you can probably pop the idea out pretty quick. Like I enjoy the survivor genre. That's why I'm making this game. I've been thinking about this game for like a year. You gotta understand how default works. Yeah, that's the hardest part, is learning the tools. Once you start learning it and knowing where things are, it all starts to come together. You understand some things, do enough to learn, just want to mess with creating environments and stuff. Yeah. Yep, you just gotta start making stuff. I feel that. Okay, that's gonna be it for me though. I know we didn't do too much, but we did some important things. We got enemy selection, we've got stats showing, everything's working as far as that goes. I think in the next one we'll start wrapping up getting the boss HUD implemented, and we'll go from there. I might work on some character art this weekend and see if we can implement like the blinking eyes and bringing the game a little bit more to life, maybe working on some tile sets and stuff. But let's go raid Dobbs Works. They raided me, I think last week, and looks like I'm catching him while he's still live and not at the end of a stream. So let's go give them our view, and they are making a paper robot game. Looks like Paper Mario, and it looks really neat. It's in Godot, so if you have 3D Godot questions, just ask them. Like, the worst he's gonna say is, "I don't know," right? But thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for motivating me. I will be back Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for some more game dev, and I hope to see you there. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.